Certain fan bases weren't happy yesterday. News came out. J.J. Watt made his decision. He's not going back home to Wisconsin with the Packers, joining the new and improved Buffalo Bills, maybe the Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns, reunited with his brother in Pittsburgh. He chose the Arizona Cardinals. Got the hopes up in places like Buffalo and Green Bay, certainly, and maybe a nice addition and could have put those teams over the top. And some critics say, oh, you chose money over playing for a championship. Imagine if you joined the Kansas City Chiefs. What would we say about J.J. Watt? Oh, okay. You're like the Kevin Durant of the NFL. You got to join somebody else to win a championship. All I know is the NFL is year to year. When you think about Tom Brady joined the Buccaneers, I mean, think back on that. When he joined the Buccaneers, at the time, did you realize they had made the playoffs since 2007? Then they go and win the Super Bowl. But at the time, we thought, oh, okay, gets to play in Florida, get away from New England weather. Bruce Arians is a fun coach to play for, offensive-minded guy, former quarterback in college. Got some weapons there. We just thought it was a nice story. And then people realized, oh, Tampa's got a top 5 defense. Tom had done his homework, and he was going to have a larger say in how good the Buccaneers were because Jameis Winston was holding them back. Well, they win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying J.J. Watt is going to help Arizona win the Super Bowl. Let's see if they make the playoffs first. And they were a team that lost 8 games last year. 5 of the 8 were by 1 score. Does J.J. Watt help in that category? I guess. I mean, they did score. They outscored the opposition. Get Kyler Murray another year. You got Chandler Jones, Budda Baker, maybe Larry Fitzgerald comes back, DeAndre Hopkins. Okay. But I think what Arizona did is the Bidwells went out and got him. The owner, he went and picked him up. Said, we want you. Maybe that's all it needed. Now, he got paid, got guaranteed money there. But here's where the Texans made yet another mistake because they misread the market. The number of teams interested in J.J. Watt, this is where the Texans probably should have taken some calls on J.J. Watt. You could have gotten some draft picks here. That's what they keep trying to acquire, draft picks. Maybe you get a 3rd rounder, maybe 2nd rounder. You get all these teams bidding against each other. I think the Texans misread the market because how many teams? I didn't know the Colts were interested. I didn't know Arizona was interested. We knew Cleveland was. We knew Green Bay was. We knew the Titans were. And then all of a sudden, so there's 5 teams. Put it out there on the open market. See what we get. Maybe you get a couple of draft picks there. All I know is you didn't get anything. And JJ goes to Arizona now, 2-year deal. Their odds didn't jump up in Vegas, because he's a defensive player who's 32 years of age. This isn't a quarterback. A quarterback will change the odds, not a defensive player, or at least this defensive player. If Aaron Donald changed teams and went to Seattle, Seattle's Super Bowl odds would improve dramatically. But he goes to a team that we're not used to seeing be successful or get these kind of players. They had their run with Kurt Warner, but keep in mind when they got Kurt Warner was kicked to the curb by the Giants. People didn't know that he was going to have, this resurgence latter part of his career, and because of that became a Hall of Famer. But Texans could have misread the market there, could have gotten something in return, but J.J. Watt surprised everybody, I think. Yesterday, as I was ready to leave the man cave, Paulie goes, it's in. J.J., you know what? Got a great source. It's J.J. Watt who's reporting where he's going. And he goes, it's not one of the teams that you thought. And I go, Chicago Bears. Like we just started throwing out teams. We weren't quite sure, okay, it's not the teams that we thought. And Paulie says Arizona, and I go, Arizona? Okay. Now, if you haven't been to Arizona this time of the year, you should try it. It's a wonderful place. Maybe not for you in July and August, but this time of the year, certainly beautiful. That's another thing. When you go visit a school, when you're being recruited, when you go to Syracuse, it's probably important that you go maybe not in the wintertime. Certain places that you go and you go, hey, come on in. You want to see what this city's all about, the surroundings are all about. If you went to Buffalo last week, you might go, no, I don't know. I'm not sure. And then you go to Arizona. The owner sends his private plane. He's on the private plane. You got your new wife. You may say, hey, this is where we want to live. Maybe it's lifestyle there for him. But as far as chasing the money, the reports are he could have made more money in at least two of the other places there. It may just be lifestyle. Maybe something as simple as that. I thought if I'm Kansas City, I make a run at him. And I wondered if JJ would play for a team. Has obviously a great chance to win a Super Bowl. How important is that for him? I don't know. But he got where he wanted to go. He had the opportunities to go to these other places, and here he is. He's an Arizona Cardinal, paired with Chandler Jones. Buda Baker in there. I don't know if, you look at that defense and where it ranks in that division, but, you're going to get some people's attention. And the fact they were 8-8, if they're a 10-6 team, you make the playoffs. I don't know what San Francisco is going to be like because they can't decide on who is going to be the quarterback that replaces Jimmy G. The Rams, I think, are going to be formidable. Seattle, I'm not quite sure with the drama going on in the offseason, but maybe he gets into the playoffs, and maybe that's enough for him. 877-3DP Show, email address dp@danpatrick.com, Twitter handle at DP Show. Here is J.J. Watt after signing with the Cardinals.
I'm very excited. My wife and I are very excited to be here. Mr. Bidwell, Steve, everybody here has been unbelievable so far. And I'm just excited to get started. I'm very excited to get started, get to work, get to know the people of Arizona, and to go to work to try and help them win a championship. And the one thing that I can promise you is I'm going to work my ass off every single day to make you proud. And I'm very proud to be a part of the Bird Gang and the Red Sea. So let's get started.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. A little bit more enthusiastic J.J. Watt with a Wattism. I just know one thing. I'm going to work my ass off, make you proud. We're good guys. Who's with me? We're good-ass dudes. Who's with me? Let's go. On three. Yeah, Paul.
He dropped and did 40 push-ups right after that interview, right on the tarmac.
Of course he did.